Hello, welcome back to my channel. We are sitting at my desk today. I just felt like being a little bit more casual. So we are going to be playing with the 35S, the Sweet Oasis. I ordered this off of Morphe's website. I did use a discount code, so I think the price was under $25. This is the look that I came up with. Pretty easy. I didn't use a ton of shades, mostly, you know, obviously the blue and teals and then a couple of the pinks, but very, very easy. Didn't take me very long to do this look at all. And yeah, if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. Make sure you're subscribed. And then, yeah, I'll give you my final thoughts on the palette at the very end of the video. So we're going to go ahead and prime. Decided to play around with this palette a little bit. And then just decided this eye look turned out okay, so we'll film it. So I am just using my Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas. It's basically a concealer, so if you don't want to run out and buy this, because I got this in a subscription box, I don't know how pricey this is. I know my MAC paint pot was like $20, so I would assume this is probably in that price range, but it's essentially a concealer. So any concealer, I just like, especially with the Morphe palettes, I like having a little bit of a wet base. I think it helps. So that's what we're gonna do. And then this is a Luxie 213, just an eye shading brush. It's kind of flatter. We're gonna go in. I do like that this palette has the names printed on it. So we're going to start off with Secret Lagoon, which is the darkest teal, and then that is going to go in the crease, and then I look down and up because my eyes are hooded, because I want to make sure it's just above where it's going to be visible. So I'm not necessarily blending this yet. You can see when I open my eye, all the creasing and stuff. But stamping it on because I want it relatively dark, and then we will go back and intensify a little bit. Just stamping that shade down. And then on a clean, relatively clean brush. It was clean when I started on the other side. This is just a do color like blending brush. So there's no extra product. I'm just going to run it along the edge. This is going to help start the blend a little bit. Now I don't need to blend it out a lot. I'm just trying to soften the line just a little bit. So then on just a little, this is a small tapered blending brush from Luxie. It's the 231. We're going to go into the next deep shade, which is Hidden Cove, down here on the bottom. And then that's going to go on the edge here. I didn't intend for this to be quite so like dark and smoky. Like I mean, I wanted it to be dark, but I had envisioned it being a little bit lighter than what we ended up with. But that happens sometimes when I start with the deepest shade, because my eyes are small. I don't have a lot of surface. Okay. So then the next shade is going to be Infinity Pool, this one right here. And we're just working the lighter colors up, and then I'll go back and put in Secret Lagoon and Hidden Cove back in, and then I'm going to do a little bit of Sail Away and then a little bit of Snorkel Sesh. So these two light shades, I'm going to do Sail Away, which is a little bit darker, and then we'll do a little bit of Snorkel Sesh. So I think you can see the difference. This isn't quite as dark. Blending them out, especially with the pastels, you lose a little bit, and it's a Morphe palette. So sometimes with the blending, and you can see there is still some color there, but we're going to go back in. And then this time I will use this brush to blend it a little bit, and then we'll repeat at least the 2 shades after, just to deepen this up a little bit. And I'm going to take a little bit of Secret Lagoon now on that brush that we used to kind of soften, just so we can intensify and blend it out at the same time. And then we're going to go back into Hidden Cove, which is the next, just because I don't want there to be a harsh line in there. Okay, and then back with the fluffy brush and the lightest shade, which is Snorkel Sesh, just at the top. And I think that looks pretty close to the other eye. And then in my brow bone, I just have from my Smoke Balm palette, Smoking. This is my like ideal brow bone highlight. There's a matte white in here, but I don't like using a matte shade in my brow bone. That's just personal preference, so I went with that instead. Okay, so then we're gonna deepen up the inner and outer corner using that same little flat brush. And we'll go in and I will cut out the center for the halo. So it doesn't matter if it gets a little bit, if you take it in too far, I should say. And I'm opening my eye just because I want to make sure it's actually in the crease area. Again, my eyes are hooded, so when my eyes closed, it looks like a mess. Okay. So then just on a little flat, this is just a generic little like Amazon brush, and the e.l.f. the regular camo concealer. And we're gonna carve out the halo part. I don't like this concealer for under my eyes. It was too drying for me, but I do like it for cut creases. So since I have it, that's how I've been trying to use it up. So I didn't want to just get rid of it necessarily because I paid for it. So, and I'm just going right up to where my crease would start. Because with my eyes being hooded, I either have to stop here or go above. So we're just going to stop right in front. Okay. And then I flip the brush over so the opposite side that the concealer, and I just tap out the edge a little bit. That helps with the blend so that there's not like a harsh concealer line. And I did get a little bit above, so we'll go back in with the brush that had Secret Lagoon on it, and we'll just cover it up. That happens sometimes if I take it up just a hair too far. Okay, and then on a flat little Morphe M170-2, we're going to go into Windsurf, which is the silver right here, right next to the matte white. I did get my glitter primer out, but we don't need it because this is a tacky base. Now, if you did this and then, did something else, you could go in with the glitter primer, or if you were concerned about it. This is a little like kick-uppy. Like there are glitter particles that are like transferred, but it's not bad. And it's a pretty shimmer. So I didn't end up using my glitter glue because I felt like the concealer did a good job. Okay, and then we're going to go into Picture Perfect, which is the fuchsia, because the fuchsia and the teal will mix together to make purple. Because we want to use that to help blend the edge. I wanted a little bit of pink on the top, so I just flipped my brush over, so I'm using the clean side and I'm just dragging that down into the teal so it blends together decently. Some colors don't, so you just have to be mindful about what you're using. And then clean side, and then I just drag it. This fuchsia shade I felt like blended. I didn't have to go back and add any more teal. I felt like it did a good job blending in with that on its own. And then this is a little bit of a harsh line. So then I went into Private Villa, which is the lighter pink in here. Same brush, I just color switch in between, and I'm just tapping that next to where we put Picture Perfect, just to help fade into Windsurf. And we'll go back and add a little bit of Windsurf because it's disappearing a little bit compared to the other side. I probably didn't make the cut crease quite as wide on this, or the halo, the spotlight eye, quite as wide, which that happens, especially when I'm not doing the eyes at the same time. One will be a little wider than the other, which is fine. You can finesse it and make it look a little more like the other side. I think that's better. Okay. And then this is not necessary. I just took a little bit of the Urban Decay Heavy Metal in Distortion. This is my favorite. I have 2 of these. And I just put just a smidge. Like I said, this is a pretty shimmer. It doesn't need it. I just have these. So I like using them when I can. Okay, so then on the lower lash line this is the Morphe and Jeffree Star JS10 brush. We're going to go into Wanderlust, which is the dark pink shimmer. And that's going to go on the lower lash line. I like a shimmery lower lash line. If you wanted a matte, you could go into Picture Perfect, which is the fuchsia that we used, the darker, and then a little bit of the lighter. This is like the equivalent to that shade, but a shimmery one. Like I said, I like a shimmery lower lash line, so I tend to go with shimmers. And then underneath, I'm going to Revel in it, which is a lighter shimmer, just to help buff out the bottom a little bit. Okay, and then on the inner corner, I went with Island Hop, which is this lightest blue shimmer. Is very pretty. Not any fallout, even though that like silver shade was a little kick-uppy. I didn't really have anything on my face. I didn't feel like. And there's no pressed glitters in this palette, which is nice. I'm not somebody that hates pressed glitter, but I would prefer it to possibly not have any pressed glitter. I'm just making sure those look somewhat the same. And then in the waterline, I just have the LA Girl. This is a neon lip liner in Pop. I use it as an eyeliner. So that is it. I'm going to go and I will do liner and lashes, mascara. I'll pick out a lip color, and then we will look at the look complete, and I'll give you my final thoughts on the palette. So this is the finished look. This is a super old lipstick. I used Date Mate. It's a Matte X lippy stick from ColourPop. This was part of their Hello Kitty collection that they had a few years ago, and then I used the Viper lip liner that I've had forever. But overall, I like this palette. I used a discount code, so I think it was under 25, and I appreciate that the shade names are printed on it, and I like this cardboard packaging. The 35XO palette that I have is the same packaging. I really like it because it's light, it's easy to open and close, and then, like I said, the shade names are printed on it, so for me, it's incredibly helpful for filming tutorials. Now, is this a palette that you need? Probably not. I was mainly drawn to it for the two, like the pink and the blue row. And then this is a nice, like, cooler toned neutral row. You've got like a caramel color that I like. There's a gray, a brown. So you definitely could do a neutral look. So again, this is probably not a palette that anybody needs, but I liked it. The price wasn't bad. And so far the formula, at least off of the shades that I used, was good. Blues can be hard. So the fact that these dark teals were pretty pigmented and weren't patchy, I was able to build them up and blend them out without any issues. That I think is important. So far, I like it. If it's one that you are interested in, it is a good, like, it's not a bad price. So yeah, that is my thoughts on that. Hopefully you guys liked this look. This was my first time using the palette, so I just wanted to play with it a little bit. And I've seen a bunch of different teal and pink combinations, so I thought I would just do like a halo eye today. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Again, make sure you are subscribed before you leave, and hopefully I will see you in another video very, very soon. Bye, everybody.